Hello, just a quick one before I start. For those of you who aren't aware, I've also filmed a video review of this Audi A5 and the link for that video should be appearing in the top right hand corner of your screen now. It might be worth watching that video before you watch this one. Cheers.
So you might recognise Paul from last week's video. He was in the Q7 and this is actually your wife's car, isn't it? I think?
Yeah, it is.
But I'm hoping you'll still be able to give us some insights into what it's like to own.
Yeah, we will. I've driven it quite a bit.
Okay, that's good. So straight away, as with the Q7, why did you end up buying this car?
Second car, so we have the Q7 for the as the sort of family people carrier, and this is just a little bit of fun really. So obviously convertible. So the few months that we do get, it's always nice to just have the lid down. So purposely went out for a convertible, and yeah, we ended up getting the A5. My wife had a Mercedes before that, CLK. 350 CLK, and prior to that we had a 3 Series BMW convertible. So I've had the sort of range, and the reason for choosing this was at the time, because this is a 2016 model. The BMW looked a bit tired, and now it's had a facelift. It does look nice again, but it just looked jaded at the front.
Yeah, it was the end of the life cycle, wasn't it?
Yeah, and because the Mercedes, my wife had the car for 4 years or whatever, we just wanted to change, and we did go and look at the CLK, but I hate that front fin. The fin on the Mercedes to me just looks like a bad day in the office. It's too harsh, you know. It's I don't know. It's just.
Is it the CLK or is it the E-Class now? Is that is the because didn't they rename it?
Yeah, it may have done, but at the time it was the CLK.
Oh, okay.
And when we went to look at the new one, as I say, it looks like something off a comic. It's all these sharp lines, you know, and design wise, I hated it, and I know it's my wife's car, and I said, but you can't drive around in that.
That's fair enough if you hate it.
But anyway, we went with the Audi A5.
Yeah, well, fair enough. So you've covered why you went for a convertible.
Yeah.
So why did you go for this spec? Because this is quite a high spec car, isn't it?
Yeah, again, we just wanted a decent finish. So this is an S line, so leather interior, a lot standard on the car. It's a good sound system. It's got the Audi Multimedia System, Bang & Olufsen speakers, some really good surround sound. We went for the 2 litre. They do a 3 litre version, but again, you know, it's a commuter car around town and so on, and days out, so we didn't need the extra engine capacity, and it moves quite well.
Yeah, I was going to ask, why did you get the diesel? Because it's a convertible, so a lot of people are going to be like,
yeah,
why,
at the
diesel?
time, I mean, now if we were buying it today, it would be petrol. But they were still pushing diesel so much at the time, that, you know, availability was diesel. You could literally get it as a stock item, you know, to a very good spec, and the petrol, you know, we would have had to wait and order. So, but if I was replacing it now, it would be a petrol. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So sort of still on that topic. So you said it drives quick enough, yeah? Yeah,
it's 350 Newton meters, I think, and it's 0 to 62 in about 8.5 seconds. It's not lightning, but it feels nice to drive, and when you drive it, you'll see it moves. It does move.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's fair enough. I don't imagine you take it around corners all that often.
No.
I mean, do you notice it's got a roof that's not part of the structure?
No, honestly, it's a very stiff ride. I wouldn't say it was hard. You're not bumping about in it. So it's a nice solid ride with the roof down. I mean, obviously the noise levels are much higher. You know, the telephone call's not easy. Although, as standard, there's a wind visor.
Yeah.
That's in the boot, and it comes with the car, and you can clip it into the back if there's only 2 drivers in, and that does take the sound down really well, because you get a cabin here then, and so he has this wind visor that sits behind the 2 front seats.
No, that's fair enough. Now, this is Another spec question. I keep asking about spec.
Yeah.
Why did you go from manual? Because
yeah,
I mean, I'd have been tempted for an auto.
I know. You know what? It's the first time we've gone back to manual in about 10 years, and it was availability of the car.
Right. Okay.
So they you know, the Audi guy on the day, we cut a really good deal with him. It was available. It was a showroom car, and we could have it there and then. Personally, having now got the manual, no, we'll go back to auto. It doesn't. It's not as though we're racing this thing and we want a manual, you know, drive so we've got more control. It's not painful, but yeah, it'll be back to auto at the next change.
Well, that's fair enough. So now back onto reliability, as we asked in the Q7. Has it been reliable? Has it been?
Yeah, not a fault. So as I say, it's a 2016 car. No issue with it at all. It's got about 25,000 miles on it now, and yeah, it's been faultless.
Okay, that's good to know. And what are the running costs like?
Really good. Diesel, it's probably doing about 34, 35.
That seems a bit low.
It might be higher than that actually. We'll check on the on the dash, because it'll tell us what its average mile consumption is. But yeah, maintenance wise, it's only every 12 months.
Okay.
So services are about £350, £400, depending on whether there's any brake fluid changes and so on. So yeah, I think it's economical to run.
Okay, that's good. Is there anything annoying about the car that you'd change? I think in the Q7 you mentioned.
Yeah, the multimedia system, although it's well spec'd, you can put small cards in it, and it's not easy to do. So you should be able to record off CD as well, because there's a I don't know the size, the capacity of the audio system, but you can store media on here.
Okay.
Theoretically, because I've not been able to do it from a CD. So you can put little memory chips in it. So it's got.
But is it just not easy enough to
yeah, see, it's got these
yeah.
where you insert the media. You can play it directly off them, but I've not managed to store it on the you know, the hardware itself in the car.
Okay.
Although it says in the manual that you can. Now whether there's a fault on this or not, I don't know. I just haven't managed to do it. And to be honest, we just put CDs in it.
Yeah, well, I mean, fair enough. So the final question then, that's for the Q7. Would you recommend it? You don't seem quite as sold as you were with the Q7.
Yeah, it's not my car. The manual bit was a mistake.
Right.
Absolute mistake. And I think it would have been, because the previous convertibles were all autos, and it's just so easy to drive it, isn't it? And so that was disappointing, but that was our mistake, not the mistake of the car. So no, it's a really nice ride. It's comfortable. Not as roomy in the back. You know, you can see it is a 2+2, but for the driver and passenger, it's a very comfortable ride.
Yeah, I was going to ask, I forgot.
Yeah.
How do you find putting people in here above
it's
10
not,
years old in the back?
It's not a 4-person. You'll see the leg space now at the back, because you're just under 6 foot, aren't you? So
yeah.
I mean, you're not exactly loads of room space there, have you? And now you wouldn't get an adult foot in there, so it's not that big. It is a true 2+2.
Okay.
I think you're okay for kids up to maybe 12, 13, and then you'd start to struggle, I think.
Yeah, okay. That's fair enough. I think that's everything.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Blake.